12.
What's up,
Yo,
man, Dre?
in 2012, Chicago shut down 52 schools. I told them in 2012 before it happened. I said, look, they're training the teachers to teach your kids how to be rainbow. They got books they bring it to your second graders called Me Mom and Mommy and My Two Dads. I say, man, look, and they're about to shut down the schools. I say, man, look, they're going to privatize school. They're going to give y'all the schools and make it a charter school. Y'all can have the schools, make your own curriculum. You can teach your own kids. But most teachers are women. Women want to check and they didn't want to leave the union because they thought they was going to lose some type of benefits.
Yep.
So they fought to keep public schools and they all got fired and the schools got closed. They could have all had a job, but they didn't want to work without the Chicago Teachers Union. Then they turned around and everybody mad about the rainbow people reading to their kids. But I told them that was gonna happen in 2011. Like black people always say that you hate black people when you telling them, yo, don't chase the carrot, chase the rabbit. And they always say, oh, you hate black people. And then when things go wrong, they say, man, why don't you save us? I ain't saving shit. I'm rebranding. Fuck y'all colors. I'm gonna take
All
who,
right.
who I'm gonna take with us, and then we gonna leave everybody else behind, man.
Let me read this real quick. Shout out to my guy Reaper Rails 9876 was going. Yo, salute Izzy. What's going on? Salute to you. He said, damn, I'm wild late. Didn't see this come up on my notifications. No doubt, but it's all good. Welcome, better late than never. Yo, shout out to y'all, each and every one of y'all that's coming in the building. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. And if you feel so inclined, please support the show. The show is brought to you by great people such as yourself. You know what I'm saying? Hit that Cash App, $Israel Mills, $Israel Mills. We accept super chats as well. We appreciate you. Thank you. Yo, my man Mandrell is in the building. What's up, Mandrell? How you doing, brother?
Hey, gentlemen, how's it going?
How's it going, man? This is the first time you blessed us with your presence on my panel. But yo, I'm glad to see you, man. What say you on this subject, brother?
Yeah, not a problem, man. I mean, this is actually the first time you ever come up on my algorithm.
Oh,
Real
wow,
talk.
that's crazy.
I didn't even know you had a channel.
Wow, really? That's many
Real
times
talk.
we've been on Fight Club together.
I know.
You didn't know that?
I had no clue you had a channel. I thought you were like me. You had better shit to do.
Nah, I ain't got nothing better to do than this YouTube stuff. Shout out to you, man. I ain't got nothing better to do. I'll be on YouTube every day, bro. Every day.
No,
Except for
started,
Sunday.
I started my YouTube channel. It's all about health, nutrition, and fitness, but no one watches it, especially in this sector of YouTube. And
shout out to you. I'm gonna start checking you out, man. Y'all, as a matter of fact, listen, everybody that's up here can and please, my moderators, put their channels in the chat. My man Quafinino, of course, who sponsors the show. Hey, Ari Nicole, how you doing? Welcome, Ari Nicole. My man Modern Renaissance, man, my man Dirty Folks, and my man Mandrell. Please put their channels in the chat. Also, my man Stanley D Rock the Block White, who was up here earlier. We had some new people. My man K Kamazi, shout out to him. He said he'd be coming back. Yo, make sure y'all put his
Cool
channel in the
Kamasi.
link. Cool Kamasi, my bad. Cool Kamasi. And then also the Hood Servative and my man Uncle Jeff, of course. Go ahead, man, Drew.
Wait,
Yeah.
Mandrell, before you go, man. I appreciate
Go
you saying, Mandrell, you my guy. I gotta drop off, man. I got company. Yo, great chat, man. This good stuff, bro. I might
Always
try to come
Dirty
back
Folks.
to you, man.
We gotta link up. We gotta link up, Dirty Folks. I'm gonna hit you in the back chats in the back line. Shout out to my guy.
I got you.
Appreciate you. Go ahead, man, Drew.
Yeah, I was listening for a little while, and this is actually kind of a much more refreshing conversation than the ones I'm used to hearing in this sector of YouTube. The thing is that in our community, it's not functional because there's way too much selfishness going on, and we're people you have to catch us early with the right message. You don't catch us by the time we're 15, it's over.
Yes,
it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You have to catch us early with the right message, because trying to talk to grown folks about it, by that time, they've seen enough to where they're like, okay, forget that. That's going to take too much. I want what I want, and I want it now. Instant gratification set in. Like Modern Renaissance man. To my understanding, he's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Look how long it took him to earn that. Look how much work went into it. Look at people like myself. Look how much work went into earning what I got. Look how long it took. You know what I'm saying? It's just to catch someone past age of 15 with the right message, especially if they come from a not so great environment, no one really taught them anything. It's going to be hard to get us to be on one accord. We do need standards. We need standards. We need standards and practices upon which we can all agree are in the best interest of Black people, and that needs to be enforced as well. But who's going to enforce it? You know, there's a lot of things that goes into straightening the Black community. And as far as can we all just get along, race, religion? Yeah, we can get along, but we've had so much negative propaganda put on us in this country. So who's going to believe anything we say, especially when, you know, the worst of us gets highlighted and the worst behavior gets celebrated by us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're a part of it too.
Well, okay. Shout out to you, man. That's interesting. Hey, Mr. Royce J, how you doing today?
Hey, what up, Israel? How you feeling, man?
I'm all right. Welcome back, my brother. You was in the truck the last time you talked to us, wasn't you?
I think so. Yeah, I was
Yes,
probably going about my daily tasks. I mean, this retirement life is awesome.
Shout out to you. You earned the retirement life. Salute. What would you like to say on the subject, Mr. Royce J?
You asked a question earlier about, I guess, alignment along race or nationality.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What would you choose first, nationality or race? That was a question I was asked on Team Fatty show last night. Yes, sir.
For me, it would have to be nationality, and here's why. Um, there's been at least 5 times that what we call FBA, ADOS Americans had an opportunity to via the United States, courtesy of the United States, to go to other countries and colonize. And each
Did he
time,
go?
and these countries were Liberia, Belize, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and what is the other one? I want to almost say Panama. Uh, I can't remember that last one for sure, but there were 5 times at least that Black Americans were presented with the opportunity of becoming a commonwealth in their own country, on their own land, uh, and to where they could have more or less manifested their own destiny in those places. And each time, what did Black Americans do? They said, "No, we want to stay here. We built this country. We want to be a part of this experience." So my thing is okay, you gave that up. So guess what? It's gonna be nationality. You are a part of this. You volunteered for what's going on in the continent of the United States. It's now whatever happens after that, that's on uh, that's on Black Americans. So my thing is since that's on Black Americans, since that was the choice, it's gonna be nationality because and another thing is, I mean, really, what is black? You know, I'll tell you what black is. Black is basically the English Empire's way, the British Empire's way of classifying people with sub-Saharan African DNA who primarily speak English and who have a legacy under the British Empire. Those other people are either Afro or Negro. Black is not a race; it's a classification. And quite frankly, with the way the classification is going these days, I don't want a whole lot to do with it. So I'll be something else. You know, they can have black the felons, the disco dancers, and the the Lucy's. They can have black. I'm cool doing something else. You know,
Well,
so that's how I see it, bro.
okay. I mean, and like I said, I respect everybody's opinion and rights to their beliefs and belief system. It to me is just kind of tragic that a lot of us want to be anything but what we are. Like, I understand the whole thing about classification because it is so-called black. I could give you that as far as the classification of what Europeans gave, the fact that there's no real such thing as race. It is just the human race. that, you know, a lot, well, not really a lot, but there is a subset of people that look like you and I in this country who behave ratchetly and who have bad behavior. But then I know that there's a large portion of us that are the MRMs of the world, or the Mandrells of the world, or the Dr. Or the Mr. Royce J's of the world. Like, I was calling you doctor, man. But there's a lot of us out here who are, you know, honest citizens, who are good people, who are loving people, who take care of our families, who want the best for our families, our children, and try our best to live a upstanding life that's you know, able, or that people are able to look upon and see us in a respectful light, right? So I just hate that, unfortunately, it seems like we are the only people that, number one, are told, yo, forget about the past. Like, yo, why y'all worried about the past? That wasn't your generation. Did you have to face slavery? Number one. And then number two, we are the only people that's told that are judged by the lowest portion of our people or our society. Like, yo, that does not define blackness or so-called blackness in America. The ratchets, the twerkers, the you know, the you know what I mean?
And that should be the question, though. That should be the question right there. Is that
at one time it didn't, but that's what's being defined now, and there's not enough pushback against it. You know, and furthermore, this black thing, Israel.
Yes, sir.
I did recently an ancestry in the 23andMe.
You trust that? Go ahead.
Well, some of it corresponded with what I know.
Okay.
And 75% of my DNA came back as African.
Okay.
25. No, it was like 21% came back. Others, including it was 25. It came back. You know, Southern European, North African, and what was the other? Native American. Okay. And that's because of my roots from the Caribbean. So I wasn't surprised if any of that, except you know, the small hat part, you know, which was a part of the North African. But that being said, I mean, you know, looking at you, you seem like, you know, there's you know, a little bit of a mix going on. Most of us have what we would call Black Americans. We have a racial mix, and again, that's none of that says Black. It's African, and then there's other continents. There's no continent that says Black. There's no country that says Black.
Right.
There is, and I get where you're going, but again, it's a classification.
Right. And I get you, and I understand that. At the same time, it's like when people say, yo, why do y'all use celebrities to talk about whatever you talk? Well, because it's a term that most people it's a class most people are able to see, okay, well, such and such is a celebrity. We know who this is. We know it's a commonality. So when you say Black, of course, Black is a color, Black is my shirt, Black is my shades, Black is this portion of my hat, right? It's not an actual race of people. At the same time, we know that is one of the classifications, as you said, that has been labeled to us, and something that we all can identify with in some portion, because, you know, it's damn sure not African American. If we go to Negro, then there's a whole bunch of things. If we go to Nick, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. So I use Black, I use so-called Black for lack of a better classification of what we are. Like, I really don't like to get into that conversation, because that's so like it's so much to that. But what I will say is this: with that being said, why are we judged by the lowest 20%, the lowest portion of the people who so-called represent us? Why are we judged by that? Go ahead.
And that's exactly what I had to write this down. I said there's pushback on that, but then the question is, why is the ones that's pushing back on it being suppressed? We got a lot of folks.
Great point.
Me, angry man, even folks that don't like, the Brandon Tatums, the Candace Owens, ABL, Larry Elder, Thomas Sowell, Jason Riley. There are a lot of black men and
Jason
women.
Whitlock, yo,
Yeah,
and
absolutely going out there and doing the thing, but we are being heavily suppressed, and that's the question right there. So, and that's why I try to bring the people and say, you tell me who the real racists are. You tell me who the real racists are based off of their actions. You tell me who really care about the black folks based off of their actions. Now that we got somebody in Chicago, another black person in Chicago, is it better for black people right now? No, but don't say nothing about him, Tommy, because he's a black man. Don't be hating on black people. You always trying to bring a black man down. I care about what is being done to you as a person. I can give a good goddamn don't care the color of the person that's doing it to you. If it's wrong, it's flat out wrong. Period. That's it. But what do? And it should be an insult. They feel that a lot of black people are so stupid and so ignorant, they can sit there and say, hey, make sure y'all say something to somebody like Tyre, to somebody like somebody like Angry Man. Tell them that they're a sellout. Call them some Uncle Toms. Call them some coons. Yeah, do that. Do all that. Just do that. Because they feel like black folks are so stupid that they can sit there and play the same exact narrative, the same exact rhetoric on them over and over again, and black people respond accordingly. And sadly enough, the evil genius plan seems to be working, because the minute you got somebody that became successful, came from the same exact spots where those people are right now, you go back, you try to tell them, this is how y'all can do it. And absolutely, to be quite honest, it's not hard. It's actually easy. No, see, you all, them white folks that got you. Who told you to respond to me like that? I can simply take you by your hand, take you through the steps. It's easy. But they got them so convinced not to go beyond the borders of the hood plantation mentality. Folks won't even take the first step to even go to see if it's even true or not. Come and prove me wrong. I'm just saying, come over here and see. And if I'm wrong, go back to the hood and tell everybody that was wrong. Go back to the community and tell them Ty got it wrong. But you know what? It has 100% success rate, because once people cross over and they see the truth and they start doing well for themselves, they have no choice but to say, hey, dude, hey, they right. They right. But we don't do that. And why? And so when you ask the question, why are we being portrayed in a certain way? It's because they want to keep us a particular way. They want to keep us on the slave mentality. They want to say, this is all black folks are good for: shaking booty, twerking, arguing, women ain't nothing, men ain't nothing, alpha, beta, unsubmissive. They want keep on doing that, y'all, but don't ever come to a conclusion and come to a solution. We just want to keep y'all arguing amongst each other, because the more you stay arguing, the more y'all stay at each other's throat, nobody is growing. And that's why I say, when I deal with these kids, they mothers and parents, they sign the contract. When you sign this contract, no cell phone, no social media, no, the TV is only in the living room, the computer is only in the living room. No, why? Because I'm keeping their focus on where I want them to go. I don't need them to see everything else everybody over here is doing. I just want them to keep their focus on where they're going to go. My sons, and it's not to be bragging, but my sons, the reason why my sons are doing so well, you want to know why? Because the stuff that they talk about right now that's supposed to be an issue, it never was discussed in this house. I went to my son's schools and said, when y'all want to talk about, slavery, X, Y, and Z, let me know, because I'm going to opt out my sons to be taught this stuff by y'all, because they don't need to know about that right now, because I know what y'all doing. I will teach them about that when they're mature enough to handle and understand that. But what do? They want this stuff to happen to them at a young age, because you can groom children, you can indoctrinate them at a certain age. And once you do that and it gets locked in their mind, it's hard to break that. And that's why I deal with a certain age, like the guy mentioned earlier. I deal with people I sometimes get my little 18-year-olds, depending on the situation. But after that, I don't, because they're locked in. They've been sold to this. It's stuck in there. No matter what you tell them. No, man, you just want them. You a nigga, you a sellout, man. No, I swear to God, my mom, man, that's what they do. I don't waste my time with those. I spend my time on the ones who are on a trajectory and want to do well for themselves. That's it. I don't have no time for the other ones. Now, whoever want to go there and try to save the Pookies and the Ray Rays them of a certain mindset, go right ahead. It's not just black people that are like that. We call them our Pookie and Ray Rays. White people call them their white trash and rednecks. That's what they call them. Same exact mindset. The people that become my patients, be it black or white, black people that come from the hood that have a certain type of mindset that we call like that ghetto mindset, that hood mentality, the projects mentality. White folks have the same exact mindset, but they call them the trailer trash and the backwood rednecks. Same exact mentality, same exact excuse, except black people got racism when white people got, they just treating us like this because of where we come from. Same exact mentality, same exact excuses. It's a mindset.
So I'm curious, Mandrell. So same question to you. Why are we judged? Because all of us, you know, we all have different skin tones, but all of us are so-called black men, right? Mandrell, Renaissance Man, and my brother, Mr. Royce J, right? And myself. We're all men of color, right? Up here, right?
Right.
And I would say that we're all thinking men, right? To varying degrees, but we're all thinking men, and men that believe in working hard, men that believe in accomplishing things, doing the best we can as men, right? Doing the best we can. So why do we have to be judged, or why are we judged by the bottom percentages of our so-called community, of our so-called race?
Oh, the answer
Because
is
we
simple.
allow it.
Wait,
No,
hold
it's
on,
We
hold
not.
on, real
allow
quick.
it.
It's
Hold on,
not
real
on.
quick.
We
You're
accept
next.
it.
You're
Not.
next. Hold on,
It's
hold on,
not.
real quick. You're
Huh?
next, Mr. Royce J. It's Mandrell's turn. Go ahead, Mandrell.
Yeah,
It's
sorry
not
about that.
only. It's not only just that we allow it. It's because there was nothing that we could have done about it in the first place except be better, which we did not. We let the world eat us up, and now this is what we are. So here's the thing: we're judged by that because we were already low hanging fruit. Capitalism is by far and away, in my opinion, the most fair way to go when it comes to economic systems. The issue is that people have with it is that by its very architecture, it creates different classes. However, to counter that point, capitalism is based on merit, hard work, ideas. You know what I'm saying? What you put into it is what you get out of it. You just simply have to choose to do whatever it is you want to do. You know what I mean? You choose that route and you get the outcomes that you get. But when you take a group of people who are already poor and demoralized, and you want to be in, let's say you're the government, you want to be able to control the populace. The first thing you do is frighten people. So people are already afraid of black people because of all the propaganda. Second thing you do is you demoralize them. Right? People are demoralized and frightened. Okay. So then what do your parents do? They teach you the wrong messages in an attempt to spare their children. You know, that's why we use the N word so much. It was a point in time where if you caught calling a black person anything other than that, the N word, was caught calling a black person a human being, you were killed or beaten within an inch of your life. Something messed up, like that, So what parents do, they teach, no, that's not a human, that's an N word, you know what I mean? And so it's something that just passed on from generation to generation, and now here we are. But when you have nothing but negative imagery already in the public for generations, why stop if your goal is to control the populace? And then so black people don't know that white people the vast majority of white people are not doing that great. They're doing just as bad as black people are, i.e. the white trash and so on, right? And so you have black people not knowing this and white people not knowing that black people aren't bad. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. People are separate.
I got you, Mandrell, but I want to focus this a little bit more because I'm saying we judge ourselves. We judge ourselves by the worst of us. You know what I'm saying? It's not just white people. Yeah. I'm saying, why do we judge ourselves by the worst of, and to the point where we don't even want to be considered black anymore. Black is now the worst thing to be. When black, there was a time where you say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Like, you being black was the thing to be. But now all of a sudden being black nobody wants to be black anymore. And it's because we judge ourselves by the worst of us. Why is that?
Because when it comes to stuff like that, going out doing what you want to do it comes off as freedom to do what you want to, to do things that you want to do, no matter what they look like, no matter what it's like. So we popularize that. That's what's put in front of our faces as the thing to do. So most people are followers, so they jump on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? And everyone wants to do it. Most people are sheep. You got to understand that. They're going to follow the pack. No matter where that pack goes, leads them to. They're going to fall off a cliff with everybody else. Most people are sheep. And so whatever is thrown up in our faces that's made popular, you know what I'm saying? That's what most people are going to follow. So we follow it just out of popularity. Look how many black people have accomplished things, but you don't ever hear anything about them.
Right.
For example, a good example is here in this this sector of Black YouTube, where they talk about dating, relationships, and marriage all the time. You've had two couples get married, out of this whole space. Just 2. That's it. But no one talks about them. No one knows it. But I personally know the
Jedi
Mike and
a young lady, and then my
Jared
man,
Barenthal,
John
JB. Yeah, he and this lady got married. No one talks about him. No one interviews them. No one wants to hear from him. But my thing is, they had to do something right.
Right.
And they did it right here.
Right.
Why are you not talking to them? Why are you not asking them questions? What did you do?
Well,
How did you do it?
I ain't see JB in a long time. Shout out to JB. I seen Jedi Mike on the panel last night. Shout out to Jedi Mike.
Right. But like I said, that's what it is. It's doing the right thing is not necessarily putting our faces as the popular thing to do. And people follow popularity because they want to be known. They want to be have their voice heard, things like that. That's why we tout it, because it's cool.
Yo, let me read these, and I'm gonna get to you in a second, brother Royce J, and then I'm gonna open it back up because this is a dope conversation. I appreciate y'all input on it. I may not necessarily 100% agree with everything. At the same time, it doesn't mean that I have to, and I really enjoy the conversation. All right. So shout out to Soldier Solrak. He said 1600s Virginia passed law classifying all law pacifying all melanated people as Negro to steal land from brown, natives, colored, black, African, American. These names make us subjects add to the Dred Scott case nationality. That's a bar. That's true. Because we're none of those things. And that's a fact. We are most of us, not all of us, but most of us are from the indigenous people of this land who were already here. But that goes to a deeper conversation. And I don't know if y'all know about this or not, but one day I really want someone who can give me the answer. Dan Calloway kind of comes close, but I don't think he exactly gives the answer. But I want to understand. I'll get into that at a different time, but there's some things I want to understand. I be having a lot of questions. Okay, I have a lot of questions. Don't be mad at me, y'all. Yo, my brother, I don't Cash. What's up, Cash? Any caustic and volatile political discussion amongst Black folks on YouTube demonstrates why people stick to their quote unquote side. Yeah, hopefully this hasn't been too hostile of a conversation. We had a couple of kerfuffles or so, but we tried to bring it back to a civilized conversation because I went to civilized university. I know you can't tell by my shades at night, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. I wear shades in the house. It's all good. Bucket 88 said, "What up, Israel and chat room? What's good, Bucket 88? What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal?" Yo, listen, dope discussions deserve dope donations. If you would be so kind, hit the Cash App, $ Israel Mills, $ Israel Mills. We greatly appreciate it. It goes to making the show even better. That's our goal, to make the show as great as possible. Okay.
Thank you. Change.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Royce J. Please help me understand why we as a people, whatever you want to classify us as in America that look like you and I, judge ourselves by the worst of our so-called community.
Well, number one, it's because what we call Black Americans allow negative representation. We not only and not only is it allowed, it is celebrated. You had women go to in Texas at a restaurant, twerk alongside the walls and on tables and stuff like that. Stuff like that is celebrated and defended. The gang culture historically from at least the 70s has been celebrated and defended. Criminals have been celebrated and defended by people who identify as Black Americans. And the thing about it is, for everyone that says, no, that's not us, you have, and social media shows us this, you have hundreds and thousands and even more defending that stuff. Nobody comes out and say, hey, that's not us. You can't show a Chinese person with the, a Chinese American with the pulled eyes and the buck teeth going, oh, Sade saw. You can't show that because they're going to get out there and they're going to say, that's not us. The small hats, you can't call them or represent them certain ways because they're going to jump out there and say, no, that's not us. And oddly enough, nowadays, you can't say certain stuff about Black American females without some of them, when it's too negative, they'll jump out there and say, "Hey, no, that's not us," or at least they'll try to scrub it from the internet. Other than that, we well, Black Americans allow certain stuff. Number two, for the people that don't like it, not enough of them will say. Not enough of them will get out there and be the face of something different and say, "Hey, I am the face of something different." Everybody that's doing what they're supposed to do, they just want to be left alone. Which is fine. I understand that, but um, for especially for men that are holding their nuts, that are doing the right thing, that are out there, doing what's considered positive, they are also expected to be humble. That is a trap. That's a trap.
Okay, I'm confused about something, and pardon my confusion. Okay, so I hear you when you say, okay, look, so basically, is your premise that, like MRM was saying, is you saying it in a different way, that the people who are the ratchetest, the worst ones of us are the loudest, and the ones who are the best of us are the most quiet and the most reserved? Is that your premise as well when you boil it down, or are you saying something?
No, for that particular point, somewhat, it's not that they are the loudest; they are the most protected, and they are the most put out front. They get the apologetics. They get the, oh well, you got to understand, and we all got to be represented. It's funny. Speaking to representation, Israel, you
Yes,
look
sir.
like a Black American.
Yes, sir.
The other brother up there on screen, he looks like a Black American.
Yes, sir. That's
I look like a
MRM.
Black American, but they keep showing African Americans on TV. Which is different. And African American and Black Americans are not the same people.
Okay,
But
I mean,
they
yeah,
keep,
African American is someone who's a direct descendant from Africa who came over here, and Elon Musk is
they
an African American.
Elon Musk is an African American. African Americans are either immigrants or descendants of immigrants from the African continent
Right,
who have come to America.
Charlize
Right.
Theron is an African American.
Those are African Americans. And the thing is that Black Americans have a particular, Black Americans boil down to a formula, but yet we are represented lots of times by African Americans. And it's like nobody is going to, it's like nobody wants to stand up and say, no, those are not our people.
Right.
That's a different group of people, and no disrespect to them. They are not us, and we really don't appreciate being mixed with the two because, as somebody mentioned earlier, on your stream, now you have Nigerians, outright Nigerian Americans who are African Americans. They want a piece of the reparations pie.
I said that as a joke to on
Yeah,
Fatty Show.
but
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
said
you're
that. I
serious.
said that as a joke, but it's true. It is true.
Yeah, it's
Now,
true. I've seen stories of it, and so and that's the thing. If everybody's black, nobody's black. It's like if
but
everybody's a woman, nobody's a woman.
But
You know.
I understand that if it comes to the reparations conversation, right? If it comes to the reparations conversation, I could totally 1,000% agree with you because I was the one that told the joke, right? I said, yeah,
Hmm.
the problem is that the Nigerians, they want to get a piece of pie. I was playing, but I was saying because I've heard literally where some, you know what I'm saying,
I've seen
Nigerian
it.
born that's become American citizens were trying to get some of that paper, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, but overall, what I'm saying is that if we find more ways that we agree, more ways that we align, more ways that we can come together as people, then we could be stronger. You know what I mean? I understand.
No, I disagree.
I would
Okay,
say
but hold on. Let me complete my thought first, if y'all gentlemen don't mind. If y'all don't mind, I've been listening. I try not to interrupt you. Just let me complete my thought. My thing is this, and I understand, but this whole infatuation with this small group of people who are not trained militarily, who are not organized at all, who do not have barely any discipline, who are not a unit, it's lambs led to the slaughter, basically. At least, if for nothing else, if you have more bodies, if you have more people, if you have more alignments, at least you have a stronger possibility as an individual of surviving, if not living through whatever situation. But if you're aligning yourself and you're cutting down your numbers and you're shortening your scope, then the chances are you're gonna fall, not unless you just on some Valhalla type stuff and you're looking for an excellent death. I don't know, but go ahead, MRM. I'm listening.
So what I was gonna say is that what can happen? I'm answering your question too when you said about us judging each other, looking at each other, and they giving us the forms of the lowest of us. And what it is that there's something that can happen in psychology where you can have a positive feedback loop for doing a negative thing unaware. So the example that I'm going to give is this. My little nephew in the hood, he had this thing where when he started to be able to speak, his parent would tell him, somebody walk in the door, if they say something to him, he'll say, hey, say to him, F-U-B. You know what I'm saying? And he would, as a 4-year-old, he would go, patu bis. He would do that. Patu bis. And everybody, say it again. Say it. Okay, they was telling him to tell different people in there. Now tell her that. He'll go, patu bis. And everybody, they laughed about it. So it became locked in his brain that if he say patu bits to people, he was getting so much positive feedback that he figured he can go and say it to everybody. Right. So he ends up going to what do you call it, preschool, whatever, like their daycare, whatever. And all of a sudden he's in there and he's saying it to the daycare workers. He's saying it to the different folks in there. Patu bits. And hey, what on? And he looking for that same reaction. He looking for the laughing and ha, that's so cute. So they call his mom, told her about it. She come there. What'd he say? Patu bit. He got a spanking. And what was crazy about it is that while he was getting the spanking, he kept saying it. He was, patu bits, patu bit. He trying to figure out, like, hey, wait a minute. Mom, this made y'all laugh. This is what y'all want me to do. They were giving him so much positive feedback for him saying it to other people while he was in that house. He thought he was doing something right. And then when they wanted to go and correct the behavior, it confused the living daylight side of him. He's confused. So what I'm saying that for is that that's exactly why they want to implement this stuff and they want to feed this stuff to us at such an early age. They want to put the booty shaking. That's why they want to implement so much sexuality into kids in the 2nd and 3rd grade now. They want to do it, especially in the inner city schools, targeted big time, not like no private schools. They targeted big time. And the reason why is because if you can get them hypersexualized, hyper trash mentality, all those things right there, that by the time somebody do try to come along and correct it, it's not going to be confusion of sad. It's going to be confusion met with anger because they felt like that they've been doing this all their life and they had so much praises for it. They see it all on TikTok. They see it all in the social media and Instagram. They see the gratification of it. People seem to be praising it. Look at you. Hey. They see that. So they go for that because they want that same exact type of positive feedback. And then when they get into the real world, not the virtual reality world, they get into the real world, all of a sudden sparks flying at their head. They grown now. And now they can't figure out, wait a minute. I got to work here. Yes, you have to work to live. You do know that. I never was told. I thought all I had to do was just They literally think that. And so when you go to correct it, malfunction. And that's why I don't allow the kids that I mentor to have no cell phones, no computer in their room, nothing like that whatsoever. They still watch DVDs and everything. There ain't no going on YouTube and doing any of that.
Makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. Brother Royce, did you want to I know you had something to say. I'm listening to you, sir. Go ahead.
Oh no. I agree with hey bro, what's your name?
MRM. There we go.
MRM. I agree with a lot with MRM what he said, and to add to that, Um, pretty much to add to what he's been saying, I did 20 years in the military, and
Nice.
a
Thank you for
part
your
of
service, sir. Thank you for your
oh,
service.
thank you, thank you for your appreciation. Uh, when you first go in, and when you go to certain schools, what they do is when you first go in, they confiscate. Well, when I went in, they confiscated your phone, your cell phones, all your connections to the outside because they wanted you to focus completely on the training and not have outside distractions. So when MRM was talking about what they did with the kids, I can relate to that because you don't want the you don't want you don't want fungus poison in the water, and then number two, um, you got to remember that um, a couple of things. Number one, people like attention.
Yes.
Whether it's bad or good, attention is attention. P.T. Barnum said, there's no such thing as bad attention. There's no such thing as bad publicity. People like the publicity. They like certain attention. The thing about that is you have to decide and put boundaries on what that attention is. And I think Black America as a population has not put boundaries on the attention that they want. They haven't put expectations on what's good and what's bad. It's kind of a free for all. And that's a whole nother deeper conversation that we ain't gonna do nothing but argue about. Dirty folks ain't here. So, and me and Dirty, we line up a whole lot on a lot of stuff because I'm before I moved to Florida, I'm originally from Chicago,
Mhm.
and so
Oh,
what Dirty is talking about, I'm well familiar. Hey, you say you off 60th and Damon, MRM? No, that might have been
That was
that might have
Uncle
been
Jeff. That was
yeah,
Uncle
no.
Jeff.
yeah.
That was
The
Okay,
Uncle
area I
Jeff.
was the area I was in was Cabrini Green.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm from the North Pole. So over there by Riviera, Kizzy, and Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Hey, man, we're surrounded by all these Chi-Town representatives. We don't know nothing about that. I got some friends in Chicago. Shout out to all my
yeah.
people in Chicago. But saying we don't know
Yeah, I
Yeah.
nothing.
got family. I got family
Yeah.
up there.
I got a spot in
Oh
Florida
Yeah.
too, though.
Lord. We
Yeah.
Alabama, me and Mandrell and I Alabama representative. Roll
Oh, for
Tide, man.
real?
Roll
Wait,
Tide.
Yes,
wait.
Okay.
absolutely.
Y'all from Bama?
Yeah.
I
Y'all
Yeah.
live
not
in
too,
Bama.
well, depending on the city, y'all
On,
not too far from where my other spot is, Panama City Beach.
Yeah, I live in
yeah.
Bama. Roll Tide,
Yeah.
man. Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Well, what city you
On
live?
my
What city you
ADOS
live in?
side.
The Gump.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
On my ADOS
Okay.
side, I got people in Monroeville and Monroeville and Mobile, and I'm pretty sure if you
Mobile, Alabama.
know them areas, you
That's where you
you
out
know
to,
my family.
Mandrell?
In Montgomery, yeah.
Yeah, we'll link up. Shout out to
Oh
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm 6 hours from
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
So
Shout out to
so
you too, man.
yeah. So getting back to what I was saying, uh, you you have the attention piece, and you have a population now
251.
that right. You have a population that they're trying to get as much attention as possible, but it's not all good attention. And then you have the population being ran, the leadership in what we call the Black American population has shifted, and it's shifted really since the late 60s. And now we have what we have, and we're seeing the results of that since the late 60s. And so the thing about that is they want they have the mentality of freedom for me, but not for thee. And again, that's a whole nother conversation. And they want to be the face of what is black. And so when you have these people making the decisions, assuming all the leadership and trying to be the face of what is black in America, they're going to allow what they want to allow. Meanwhile, the people who aren't out front are like saying, no, we don't want this. But at the same time, they're not giving enough pushback. So it is what it is.
All right, so we let me read these, and we're gonna discuss some solutions since we have this brain trust out here. You know what I'm saying? Let's discuss some solutions. You know, me, myself, and my guy, Modern Renaissance Man, aka MRM. He's given me some great solutions. We've discussed solutions before, so I want to get in with y'all and then follow up with MRM and see what he has to say. Shout out to my guy Sharon Bracey. What's up, Sharon? How you doing? What's up, KP from KC5? What's good, family? What's good? What's going on? Danny, how you doing? He said, I'm fully against reparations for slavery. Blacks don't deserve to steal taxpayer money for slavery they never experienced. Now let me say this. You don't sound like you're of the same persuasion as me, but you know, I haven't played my sound bites today, so this is the perfect one to play.
You shut your lying nigga lips up.
Yep, that's what you get. All of that. You get all of that, Danny. But we're gonna talk about it in a second. Shout out to Joe Random in the building. What's up, Joe Random? Today's Black Americans are diverse, rich, and well-educated individuals. Black Bamas are different from blacks residing in Chicago. So there is no one Black American group, my opinion. Well, listen, blacks in Alabama, if you call them Black Bamas, the blacks in Alabama are very educated, you know what I'm saying, and get money. And there's a lot of great people in Alabama. So I don't know you need to say Black Bamas, man. Come on, man. That's not. They aren't different.
Black
Blacks
Bamas
residing in Chicago. Yeah, like is it because they reside in Alabama or they're from Alabama that they're a Black Bama? MRM don't even rock with the Simp Empire. Look at you looking for sympathy, man. Shout out to Daryl Long. Man, don't be over there crying, Daryl Long. Listen. Don't be crying. Don't be trying to get sympathy. You'll find it in the dictionary between shit and syphilis, okay? So let's don't do that. Let's don't do that. So now, back to you, Danny. Let me just say this to you, Danny. You know, it's the funniest thing, right? The funniest thing. You could be against whatever you want. You could be for whatever you want. But the most interesting thing is the choice of words that you used. They don't deserve it. And to steal taxpayer money. And it's very interesting. At this very hour, at this very time, taxpayer money is being stolen. But it's not being stolen by Black people. It's being stolen by these so-called migrant workers that are coming in across the border, and they're being housed, they're being clothed, and ironically, they've been given white sheets, okay? They gave them their honorary white sheets on the way in. They're being housed, they're being clothed, they're being fed, all on your tax dollar. Not only that, but in California now, they're be given free health care. I wonder what you have to say about that.
With our taxpayer money.
Yeah.
Free health care for them, but not for you. How you like that?
Not for you.
Nope.
Yeah. Bars.
For you, not for you, Danny. Okay. Your taxpayer dollars going for free health care for people who are not citizens of this country.
And man, then not only that, watch, they're gonna come over here and start whooping Black folks' butt and win.
Oh yeah. Oh, in a minute. Once they get good and comfortable, it's gonna be feet and baton to ass.
Hey, they came to Chicago, right? They came to Chicago and instantly shut down like 3 of our after-school programs. Didn't even give the parents no warnings, nothing. Single mothers, which is terrible. They showing up, getting ready to drop their kids off so they can go do their work shift, whatever like that. Some of them trying to get through school. They show up, it's a note on the door. We will no further be doing X, Y, and Z, We're shutting down to house the migrants, just like that. No warnings, no nothing. Show them how much they care about you.
So they take money they take taxpayer dollars away from education programs for American citizens and give it to people who are not citizens to give them an advantage over you, citizens like yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, not just black people, whites, Asians, all alike. American citizens get the shaft when it comes to us versus migrants. It's because we want to play nice and look nice. It's better for the optics. Oh, they're helping out the Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but people who haven't contributed to this country, you contribute your tax dollars to that. Is that what you want?
Right.
Why?
As long as the Negroes don't get it. And see, this is the mentality.
That's what it is. Exactly.
This
as long
is
as
the
we don't get
mentality
it.
that I'm talking about, and a lot of people saying it is the Negroes. So how does this work? I'm confused.
See, and that's what I'm getting at. I'm saying based off. That's why I don't look at the color of the person that's in representation. I look at the policies they're putting forth, and that's why I tell them: Chi-Town, Sanctuary City. Who's in charge? I mean, dude, we have so they don't even know. We had so many people when Lori Lightfoot was even there, even before she came. Almost every major government position in Chicago was headed by a black person. Whether it was the city, over the water, over the sewer, over every last thing was almost headed by a black person. You telling me it still got worse with black people being in these high power positions? I said it doesn't even matter who the representation is. If they don't do the right thing for the people, it's completely wrong. I don't care who it is. And just like now, I'm telling you, if folks don't wake up and try to take advantage of what they can take advantage of right now as being a black American, they about to mop the floor with them migrants. The migrants about to mop the floor with black folks. I'm telling you. You're already saying it right now. Y'all letting them come to our neighborhoods. But it didn't, honestly, it was almost like, wait a minute, but y'all wasn't caring about when the Pookie and the Ray Rays was tearing the neighborhoods up and being loud. I mean, y'all don't care about
but now it's worse. It's worse though. Come on, man. They busting. It's so bad right now that they're busting these people in unannounced.
Trust me, I know.
New York City had to be like, nah, if you bring another busload of people in here without telling us first or getting approval, we're gonna take your bus.
Yeah,
you have to pay a
fine. They're doing the same thing in the surrounding suburbs of Chicago.
Yep.
From what I understand, I did a video on it yesterday on my channel.
Shout out
to
you.
So yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. They said the mayor of Dalton's stealing.
It's interesting the contrast, you know, the mentality of people, because these are things that they don't think about, you know. But then when black people say, okay, that is, and truth be told, reparations are owed to black people. Yes. It ain't like the government's never done it before. Reagan
they do it to everybody.
Yeah,
everybody.
Reparations are owed.
Reagan gave reparations, and they called it reparations to the Japanese.
Yes.
What they did to them in the 1940s. The government has given reparations.
Yes. I didn't know that.
The government has given reparations before, and they called it reparations.
Yes, because of the bombing. Yes,
you're right.
It's not even because of the bombing. It's because they used to take Japanese citizens of America and put them in internment camps and put them in camps during the Second World War, because they're like, we don't know who, if they're agents or whatever, and so they just round up as many Japanese as they could and put them in camps here in America. Yes, they did, modern Renaissance man. This is a fact.
And listen, beside that,
in the 80s, Reagan gave them reparations for that. No one was killed. No one was mistreated. None of that. No torture. No torture.
But look,
reparations for that.
We didn't do that event in the 40s. We didn't do that event in the 30s and 40s, and we paid reparations to the small hat people too. We gave the American government didn't have nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with the Holocaust.
But then people say, "Well, you don't got to say it. I didn't say the event. Don't say it." Listen,
okay.
but then they're like, "Hey, listen." The military people like, oh, well, you know, y'all don't know nothing. We're Logic and Fantastic, to be specific, last night was y'all don't know nothing. They did it to decentralize the Britain government. The German government. Okay, cool. But at the same time, come on, fam. Like, seriously.
Reparations is owed to Black Americans. If you're going to call us that, it is owed. Now, whether we're going to get it, whether we're going to get it or not, different story. Whether we're going to get it or not, that's a different story. But is America in debt to us? Yes. But the thing is, they're in a debt that they can't afford to pay back.
Yeah, truth like this.
Like, how do you pay that back? You know what I'm saying?
And you were right. And Israel mentioned it earlier, and I mentioned it as well. The problem with Black, quote unquote, is that anybody can be Black when they choose to do so. We've seen Indians do it to get affirmative action preferences and stuff. You have Africans playing Black American all the time. That's the problem with Black. It's so easy for anybody to be Rachel Dolezal. She played Black. There comes a point to where if you say for Black Americans, that's too open-ended. Now, even if you say FBA or ADOS, the problem with that is you FBA, Foundational Black Americans. Do you know Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Haitians are all foundational Black Americans? When you say ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, again, that's Brazilians, that's Bahamians, that's Jamaicans, that's so you have to, there has to be some more delineation to that. You can't simply say those terms because that the term American, that's the problem. But the blacks that of the continental U.S. that can trace their ancestry back 4 generations, um, I would say they deserve something, but the problem is that the blacks nowadays didn't live in slavery, but they did live through the drug wars. They did live through redlining. They did live through problems with the justice system.
Wait, you
things
forget
that
Jim Crow. You don't have to go that far. There's still a large generation of black people that lived through Jim Crow. Well, let me shut down the whole
part of it.
But let me shut down the whole scene. Let me steal a page from the good brother Dr. Claude Anderson's book. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. Yo, the argument is really simple because people want to try to make it seem like, oh, well, y'all didn't went through slavery. Duh. Yo, the people who was paid in Japan weren't the ones that was put in those camps. Duh. The people who was paid, the little hat people, were not the people who actually went through that event. Duh. The people who was given money from whatever bombings or whatever happened were not the people who went through those things. Their people were. The reason is simple. In America, the distribution of wealth has already been distributed for the most part as far as land and heirs already. It's only about 10 to maybe 20% of land that is up for grabs, meaning inhabitable, livable land that's up for grabs. Okay. And because of that, you have a whole bunch of other people who are scraping, scrounging, and trying to get the little bit of resources that's left. When it's like playing a game of Monopoly and 80% of the board is already covered with hotels. And then you just getting in the game and you starting from the beginning. No. That's why reparations is owed, and reparations is owed to the descendants of the people who work for free, who gave these people the wealth to be able to have these companies like Heinz Ketchup, like so many other companies here in America today that have benefited from their ancestors. Levi's, Heinz, it's so many that are still making money today because of what their ancestors did back in our ancestors' day. That's the reason why.
Now, I agree with you 100% about the Jim Crow. I agree with that. The slavery part, no, but the Jim Crow, yes. The crime bill results or ramifications, yes.
By the way,
different things like that. I agree with all of that.
Your president authored that bill.
Right. Yeah,
I felt that coming.
And when you explain to black people, black Americans about that, they all get real dumb all of a sudden. Like, oh, yeah, but I'm like, Trump
there's
didn't
no but
any crime bill Biden did.
There's no but for me. I got into it with some family members because they're like, who did you vote for? I said, well, last presidential election, I voted independent. Wait, so you just kind of threw your vote away? I said, no, I voted. I'm always going to vote because too much blood has been spilled over my right to vote for me not to. So I'm going to vote. It's just I couldn't vote for either one of them. Why? I said, well, look
very upfront.
It's just like, I mean, I was not impressed at all with Trump's performance. I mean, what did he do really? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, he did a lot.
Actually,
Trump did a lot.
But my thing is also with Biden. With Biden, they said, "Why do you vote?" They're like, "Why do you vote for Biden?" I said, "Because he pretty much single-handedly destroyed the black community." for the most part.
Man.
By himself. Now, I get it. Other people had to sign off on it. But even Newt Gingrich, a Republican, admitted full-throated on camera that was a mistake. And it's one of those things he could go back and wish he could take back. Bill Clinton had the dignity to apologize. What did Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden do? Double down.
Joe Biden.
They didn't admit. They didn't admit it was a mistake. Bill Clinton admitted it was a mistake and apologized. Right. Bill Clinton apologized, admitted it was a mistake, said if he could go back and change it, he would. He even explained why he did it, which made sense. Still fucked up though, but it made sense. I get it. No such thing as a free lunch. The Republicans demanded it if he wanted all these other things to happen, and because he signed it, the economics of America exploded. The common man could climb a ladder. And I remember that time in the late 90s. You could have a job now, quit, and in 3 minutes have a job paying you twice as much money. I remember that time. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, jobs were plentiful. Businesses sprouting up everywhere. Today, another way empty buildings. Look what people did with it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff sprang up from that, but look what happened. No one kept up with it. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, Joe. That's why I said I can't vote for Joe Biden. I can't reward you destroying an entire ethnicity in your country,
man,
with a vote for president. I can't do that, dude. No, especially when I'm a part of that ethnicity. No.
Yo,
and then you double down on it. I'm like, so you spit in our faces about it.
Hold on real quick.
Hey, I'm going to drop down. Hey, Israel, I appreciate you. MRM, the other brothers
sir.
on the panel. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. If you guys are still going after I get done eating, I'll probably hop back on.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your service, and thank you to all the military people for your service. I appreciate
You're quite welcome for my military
Thank you for
service.
your appreciation, gentlemen.
Yeah,
no problem. Yeah, I'm also a veteran. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your service. Thank you. Yo, but it's a crazy thing, man. And listen, I don't really like, again, I don't like the separation or the divisiveness of things. I don't really want to. Thank you, Trey. I don't want to shout out to Trey.
Shout out to Trey.
Shout out to Trey. Thank you personally, Trey. Thank you personally. I appreciate you.
Because you ain't black
if you don't vote for Joe Biden. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
right.
That's what he said, right? That's
right. I'm just like, yeah, you wrote that bill.
Yeah,
you stole it to people in the halls of Congress, the whole 9 yards. Nah, dude, I can't vote for you. Especially when we see the results and you don't. Like I said, even Bill Clinton had the dignity to apologize. Forget what you think about the guy or how he was as president or how about him personally. Or if he even meant it or not. He came on camera.
Yep.
And admitted that. I'm like, okay, that's big. Oh, I can rock with that.
Right. Even when after he did it, what's sad about it is that you still will have folks defending it. Well, he doesn't know. You know, he apologized, but he didn't really mean it because he didn't know what he was doing.
Still, you know, that's integrity. That's the sign of good integrity, though, to admit that you made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But then here's the thing: that who's cleaning up that crime bill? Is Joe making good on that, even though it's his fault? No, well, see now Joe has dementia.
He's bringing all these migrants
workers
in,
asylum seekers.
And he said he can't wait till that what is it? Memorandum 44, whatever, expires so he can bring more in.
Yeah, but he's not doing anything to clean up the mess he made.
No,
exactly. He's tripling down. That's the point.
Yep.
It's not him. We can all agree it's not him. Joe Biden literally is demented. That's not him.
The guy who, and that's another thing. I was like, I couldn't vote for a guy who clearly has dementia. Those are my words exactly. He clearly has dementia. I can't.
CCD. Yeah, we do know that. We do know Trump did get a lot of it. Trump did a lot. He did get a lot of black people out of prison. He did give money and funding to HBCUs by the millions. He did. Trump did a lot of good stuff as far as
education freedom scholarship for blacks.
He did a lot of good stuff as far as black people is concerned. Specifically,
that was $500 million in loans to the HBCUs, by the way.
And people, no one wants to talk about that. He did a lot of good things for black people, but they get caught up on, oh, well, he was friends with the militia and he was cool and he called the people, blah, 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 blah.
But
I'm telling you, I'd rather go ahead.
Do you know what he was about to do, though? That's what man.
What was he about to do? I'm curious about. No, I don't know.
It was going to be okay. Black churches, the ability to compete. I mean, he's going to get black churches the ability to compete for federal resources for their community. Period. Bring better and tailored health care to address historic disparities. That's what was coming to the health. They was already giving us this in the hospitals, like because they kind of thought that he was going to win. We were already getting this stuff like, y'all get ready to be set up because it's about to be a blast coming on because this is what Trump is getting ready to do to the health care for blacks. And we were already getting set up for like, oh man, new clinics were getting ready to open. They were like, hey, this is going to be a good chance for anybody in medicine. Doctors, they was even going to allow, PAs was going to be able to open up their own practices with a doctor overseeing them because this is about to be a huge explosion of blacks getting ready to get the craziest healthcare that they've ever gotten at a high level. And then pretty much the immigration policy that he was going to put in place was to protect Americans. Like, if they're illegal immigrants, he's like, you're not going to take no American. You're not going to take an immigrant over an American. He's about to put that in place. Then he was about to advance the home ownership and financial literacy in all schools. But first of all, he's going to get it in definitely inner city schools to have financial literacy being taught. Then $3 million for, I think he's going to give $3 million like for certain communities per blacks, though. It was going to be blacks. $3 million in communities for blacks to go and try to get their business and things going. The ones that y'all talking about earlier, like the corner stores, be it hair salons, whatever. He was about to just have this out as a grant, which means this is not going to have to be paid back. 500,000 new black-owned jobs is already going to be one of the things that he was going to implement out there. This is what was coming. It's called his $500 billion platinum plan. And then school choice. No matter what your level, where you live, school choice. And then I'll tell you this too. We were there in Chicago whenever Trump was tired of black people being, because Chicago crazy. I can't believe St. Louis was beating Chicago out too. But Trump was actually about to go there and pretty much shut the gang activity and stuff down. He was about to do it, send the National Guard there, and everybody like, oh man, oh no, them dude ain't no gangsters getting ready to rock with no military. Just stop it. Stop it. He was getting ready to send the military there to pretty much clean it up. And guess what? Chi-Town rejected it. Nope. We don't want no racist man coming in here and cleaning up our community, keeping us safe. Yeah. This is what he was about to do. And there's more to that I didn't name all, but I just can't remember it all. But it was called his $500 billion platinum plan.
I remember that platinum plan. He was going to do that. That's true.
Meanwhile, our current president promised all this stuff, but gave absolutely what?
He took it. He actually took the money from the HBCUs.
Yeah, he did. That was one of the first things he did.
He said, screw you niggas. I'm just being real.
That's the first thing he did when he got in office.
But hey, long as he got Kamala, who's somewhat black, next to him, and hey.
Why do we love symbolism so much? Why do we love symbolism and symbolic gestures so much?
That's what I'm saying, because they feel that black folks are stupid, and you don't think that's what you black people want. Black people just want the symbolism. They want the thought of it. They want the imagery of it. They want but they don't want nothing to really happen, because if they did, they'll be fighting a whole lot more than what they are right now. But I will tell you this, it does seem like there may be a little bit of a turnaround right now, because there's a whole lot of black folks that you going on the streets and you ask some questions to that they waking up to this stuff. Especially now. I mean, honestly, I know we hate that this immigration stuff is happening, but in a sense, I'm kind of glad, because it's causing them to really see what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on. Yeah. Shout out to Philip Leak. What's up, Philip Leak? The Bible said it best. Don't put your trust in man. Yeah, you can't. What's going on, Ruthless Truth? How you doing, brother? What say you on the subject? Salute, Ruthless Truth.
We're the Christians. We're not here to bring peace. We want division. We want war. That's where it's going to go. No peace.
Who is we? Who is we? Wait.
Christians. I told you, Christians.
You speaking for all the Christians, and you said, wait, MRM is a Christian. Mandra, are you a Christian?
Oh, that's what I'm speaking to.
I don't know. This man from the tribe of Judah or something.
Yeah, because MRM, they ain't talking like that. Wait,
it don't matter. It don't matter.
Mandra, are you a Christian, Mandra? Are you a Christian?
Not anymore. I'm spiritual, just not religious.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't
mad at that.
We not believe in religion. Israel, we're not looking for no recruits either. We good.
So wait, you came on my channel to announce war and to kick me out. Is that what you tell? You came on my channel to announce war and kick me out. I'm not welcome. That's what you're telling. I'm not welcome. I can't come.
No, it's just your title saying carry all this get along, race, religion, right? So
Yeah,
I'm
race,
coming on
religion,
here for the
region.
Christian side. We don't want peace. We want
I don't
division,
want-
right? We're here to
Wait,
set.
wait a minute. Hold on. That ain't nothing that Jesus stood for. Wait a minute.
he
What is
did.
happening here?
Yes, he did.
Jesus didn't
he
stand
did.
for that.
Yes, he did. That's scripture. That's
What
scripture.
wait, what scriptures is
He
these?
said, "Thank not that I come to bring peace on earth, but a sword."
Jesus didn't say
Understand?
that.
A mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law. That's in the scriptures. You read that you can just put up peace on earth, and all the scripture come up. Yeah, God ain't here to reconcile.
I think you misinterpreted. What about the Beatitudes? What?
That's for the edification of the church.
Ooh.
I'm confused.
This is something you're not part of. Of course, you're confused. You're supposed to be confused.
I knew the Bible. I was supposed to be confused.
Yeah, you're supposed to be
confused
because you're not a part of our regime.
I'm not a part of it.
You're not part of our regime, so of course.
Oh, okay.
Right?
And
you can't know
how did I
things.
get on the outside?
Well, because you're representing something else.
I represent what?
I think it was. I forgot we had a conversation some time ago, but I know you're not a Christian.
Okay. So okay.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to be one later.
Woo. So because I believe in God and I submit to God and I love everybody, then I can't be included. I love Jesus too.
Well, Lord said if you love him. Lord said if you love him, you keep his commandments.
I keep his commandments.
This man coming in with the red on as a God's gangster disciple.
Yeah. He on some other stuff.
You kept all of them. You kept all the commandments. Israel? Are you sure?
As much as I can, as much as you did.
No. There's no half step.
I've kept them as much as you have. Yes.
No, I'm not claiming that I kept every law.
What is
okay?
happening?
So that, but you're a judge and
I don't know.
executioner and jury.
No,
I'm trying to understand.
I asked you. You told me you kept all the laws.
I didn't say I kept them all. I said I've kept as many as you kept.
Well, if you break one.